Fellow commenters and callers, I greet everyone. God bless you all greatly. Yeah, the reason why I joined the panel today, I heard this Pastor Adeboye's comment. Pretty much it was so condemnable, and it has been so. So people have really condemned it from all angles. Whichever way, there's no way you want to spin it. It is so condemnable to make such statement. I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't disappointed at all, because the only part of disappointment I have is when I juxtapose it with the wisdom and the age of the person that made that statement. That's the area where I got disappointed. But you know what? The first thing that came to my mind when I heard the statement, for me, I don't see it from tribal angle. I don't see it. For me, it is less of tribal. It is far less of tribal. It is more of self-service, psychophancy, pretending as if nothing is happening, protecting their own empire. It's all encompassing for me. I see it from that angle of psychophancy, protecting their own now, meaning their wealth. Selfish this is selfish, pure and simple. It is only, and they preach against all these things. Myself and I, me, myself and I alone. That is exactly not about the people. I just narrow it down. It is more of, see, this is another opportunity to lay this foundation again. In Nigeria today, as it stands right now, any government, doesn't have to be Tinubu government, even previous government, future government, they have all the religious organizations in Nigeria, they hold them tight. They have their balls. They dare not do anything. They will squeeze it and it will burst. It takes only one law. A local government bylaw can bring Redeemed Christian of Church of God down, back up by the federal government. Forget about whether that law is coming from the federal, from the center. Forget whether it is an enabling act of the National Assembly. Forget about, I said a local government bylaw can bring any of them to their knees, back up with the support of the federal government. And that's what they dread the most. Simple law, they just make one simple law. They are done with, and they know that. Make no mistake about that. They are aware of that fact. And that's why they continue to pander. They are just pandering to them. That comment is just a comment of a total psychophant. An elderly man, that what I hear from elderly people most of the time is, I don't care. My time is near. What is it again that I have to lose? I will say it the way it is. That's what I hear from. Those are the elders that I have respect for. They will say it the way it is. Carry case, go meet them. They will judge, the wise judgment that they will give. You will be amazed, because they don't give a damn. They will look you straight in the eye and they will tell you the truth. Because the man will tell you, I don't know whether this is the last statement I'm going to make in my life. I don't know whether I'll wake up tomorrow. A 90-year-old man, 89, once you are in that age, 85, 86, every day is just a gift. Every day is a gift. A a complete package gift from heaven. That's what every day is. And so when you have the opportunity to undo anything, the first thing is that I don't know whether I will meet my maker tomorrow. And this is what they preach. That's where my disappointment came from. So for me, it is all about that. It is, see, I was talking to someone before. I said Tinubu will have several occasions call his wife inside the room, their bedroom. He will have called his wife down, say, sit down, go and warn your father. Go and warn him. I'm just picturing that scene. You know, I've pictured it at least more than 2 occasions, at least 3 times. I've sat down and I said, this is what will have happened. Tinubu will have called his wife and say, sit down. I want you to go and warn your papa. Tell him to do the needful, not to destroy my government. I see a picture where Remi Tinubu will kneel down and be begging Tinubu, say, I'm sorry, I will do what I have to do. So this is all they are doing is just protecting their empire at the detriment of Nigerians. They don't care, and that is disappointing. That one is so satanic. People have said it all. When you hear that kind of a statement, the job of the president is done by giving an order, then his job is done. Even a 10-year-old will not make that comment. I'm telling you, even a 10-year-old, 10, will not make that comment. A 10-year-old will not make that comment. I know that for a fact. So that's where it is disappointing. So for this what they are doing is just pandering, protecting their empire. So that government, see, in Nigeria, for example, if you ask, or say a church like Redeem, we're talking of Redeem now, they are all of them the same. Whatever I say is the same to all of them, whether it is faith, I say, whether it is winners, or whether it is what do you call it, or Yakilome, whether it is all of them is the same thing.
Madarita, we can see you. Thank you, Madarita.
If today in Nigeria they just pass this tax law, look at that tax law, how they make sure that the church, they still protect them. They give them all the buffers, all the protection that they need. Make one law in Nigeria, all these churches will crumble. I tell you, they will crumble in 1 year. Tell them, if they will tell them that they should come and account for the money that they are getting. Tell them to audit and to submit their audit to a federal government, a specific federal government agency that will be responsible and an oversight agency on all these religious organizations. You will not call it religious organization, non-profit organization. They fall into that category. The account must be audited, and it must be published publicly on the government website what they spend their money for. And that agency has the authority. They can walk into any of those all those non-profit organizations to bring out their books. They will crumble, I tell you. That is only one part. That is one part. If they make a law in Nigeria today, before you can become a pastor or anything, these are the guidelines. You must have this, you must have that. I'm talking of now training in terms of skill acquisition in that area. You must acquire that skill too. You cannot just bring anybody from anywhere to be superintending over people, because money is involved.
Mr. Jonathan, the criteria should be you must have your first, second, third degree, your bachelor's degree, your master's degree, then your PhD.
These are the things if they make that law, do you think Redeem we have this number of parishes?
It's not possible.
It's not possible now. Those are the things they are protecting. They are protecting their empire. As Nigeria is right now, have you seen any sitting governor now? Any sitting governor, even though they have stolen, they have stolen each of their state blind. Can you see any of them parading private jets? As crooked and as corrupt Nigeria is, have you seen a sitting governor? Maybe after a sitting governor parading private jets. These people, they just do whatever they like. If there is an oversight on them, you will tell me which pastor will go and buy private jet if he will not come and account for that money. Because it will be pure 419. Nothing to add to it. It will be fraud. But these
Jonathan,
are the things.
okay, Jonathan.
Yes.
Many of them own private jet too. I can give you one. Two. One. Oyakilome. Pastor Oyakilome owns the private jet.
No,
two.
I don't Orije
Jafo.
No, that boy is saying, I say governors. He say governors don't have private jets.
Okay.
Say all the satanic governors, they have private jets.
But there are all these governors that they can't parade it too. They can't display it anyhow because they know that it will not go well. But look at all these pastors. Some of them have 2 private jets. And they parade it, they show it off anyhow, and nothing is happening to them. And go to all their churches. More than 50% of the people that are attending those churches are paupers. They are as poor as the church rat itself. And they are getting their money, going all over the space, all over the place, collecting people's money, appropriating it to themselves. Government can, bring all these non-profit organizations, such as churches, they can bring them down. So when you now hear statement from someone like Pastor Adeboye, this is how I see it. This is my own opinion and my conclusion on the matter. For him, he has worked for maybe 5-6 decades running, and he has built this thing up to this level. He will not want to mess it up. If it will mean that I have to pander, if it will mean that I have to be sycophant, if it will mean that I have to be selfish because I want to leave all this empire for my children. People, make no mistake about it. I believe that is the game. That is the game. It doesn't have to be someone from a particular tribe. If it were to be any other person, Nigeria, they would
Baba Jonathan. Jonathan.
Yes.
I will thank you. I don't put it as tribe because Idahosa built empire and he was still talking to government. Yeah. The thing is, this is group of demo. They are doing Adeboye agenda. That is where Osinbajo was the vice of Buhari. All of them were the one who did protest. So it is not by tribe, but it is demo. This group of Curtis, demo Curtis. Adeboye is their head.
They are pretending as if not. That is the sickening part of it. The sickening part of it is that pretending as if nothing is happening in Nigeria, as if this insecurity is not happening in front of all of us, that everybody is not experiencing it in Nigeria. Pretending you see bad and you turn your back to it. That's what they are doing, and it is bad. It is sad. It is evil. It is just evil. You cannot say that kind of a statement, and it's so insensitive. So insensitive. If the president, the one that is so funny to me, so ludicrous, is the one where he said Donald Trump. That comparison is, I don't even know where to square that comparison. If Donald Trump gives an order and the military they carry out that order, what do you think will happen? He will just sit down, Abi. He will just sit down.
He will sack all of them.
He will sack all of them. But here in Nigeria, you are saying that what kind of comparison is that? Where did that come from? That's why I said a 10-year-old will not even say that. Commander-in-chief. We always say it here. A commander-in-chief. It is like, see, when the president sits down in his office, in his presidential mansion, you know how he addressed the military. They are his boys. That is the strength and the power of commander-in-chief. The army the Navy, they are his boys. He is their boss. He's their boss. He can command them. Nothing, no question asked. Okay, the instruction or the advice that the church leader gave to Tinubu, was that advice? Did that advice adhere to? Did he carry out that advice? He ignored it. If you give people an order, in fact, that is where your job is not the order itself. Your job is the supervision to make sure that those orders are. Anyway, people have talked about this. I don't want to go to all those areas. I just want to stress the fact that these people, what they are doing is protecting their empire, and they will stop at nothing, even at the detriment of Nigerians. Even if all Nigerians will buy, it is this empire they will continue to protect. That's why they kept mum. They are not talking. And when they find themselves in a corner where they have to talk, this is the kind of talk you'll be hearing. This kind of evil talk you'll be hearing, because they are protecting their empire. And we want Nigeria to move forward. And Tinubu is saying that he's looking for money instead of taxing the poor people. See, all the money that all these people, all these non-profit organizations, churches now, they have. Anyways, that's just the point I want to make. It's very simple for me. It's just very direct. These people are selfish. They are sycophants. In fact, their sycophancy is second to none. I'll leave it there, Mr. Harvis. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Jonathan, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. For me, I've said it before that we need a leader that will come in and first ban church for 5 years. Every single church in Nigeria, ban. I don't know devil whether the caste is Nigeria was created, they not fit do anything. Ban them. After 5 years, we'll now have a proper review. You know, that throughout that 5 years will now be the time to review, to bring churches back. Then you now allocate some numbers of churches to each state. For example, you know, in Benin City now, you now have only 4 churches in Benin City, for example, right? So in Lagos now, you now have, at least because Lagos is big, in mainland, you have only 4. In island, you have only 2. Simple. That's 6. Done. Then across all states, it will be like that. Then the criteria for a pastor, for you to be a pastor at all, you know, then will not be you must have a PhD. I know some people will not come in and what does a qualification got to do with somebody that God call? Who tell you say God call any of them? Tell me one pastor for Nigeria where God call. Not be God they call them. God not call any pastor for Nigeria. As far as I'm concerned, what they are doing is business. Is business they are doing for Christ's sake. No, God not call them. So if we want Nigeria to be a better place, these people need to be touched. All this one say don't touch that man.
I am in support of you, Jerry. God not call any of them. That
God not call any rubbish. Of them. So don't touch not my anointed. Which not my anointed? Whether they do business, Yahoo business. Like Mr. Jonathan told us, 50% of their members are poor. Not 50, more than 75 to 80% of their members are poor. They are poor. They cannot eat. They even borrow money to enter transport to church, and they want to give to offering.
They are all after the money. That's the money is the main focus. Tithe and offering. That's all.
Ebi gba mẹ̀kún nínú ìgboro ẹ̀tún pa wá. Òrìṣà bó lè gbè ní ó bá ṣe bí mo ṣe bá mi. Ẹ fẹ́ bí pa wá ẹ̀tún pa wá dànù. Òrìṣà bó lè gbè ní ṣe bí mo ṣe bá mi. Àmánéjì nínú ẹbí Boko Haram tún pa wá. Àwọn bandit àwọn lákàrà wá. Ẹ ò rí kan ṣe sí ẹ wá sọ pé ìṣèjọba master of strategy kílẹ̀ strategize. Díẹ̀díẹ̀ wọ́n ti lọ rìpọ́tù àkáǹtì mi Facebook àkáǹtì